I thought that I could come up with many answers to that question, but something came up recently when I was doing some exercises in the gym, and my instructor asked me to straighten my back. And I felt that I couldn't do it. It physically goes like this all the time because I feel like I'm carrying a lot of burden on my shoulders, both from my past and from my current life experiences as well. And sometimes it's extremely hard just to straighten up your back and make sure that like your posture is correct, because on many occasions you feel like it's too much in life, you are doing a lot, you're going through a lot, and it's all sitting here on my back, on my shoulders, and on my neck. That's where in my body most of the painful stuff is sitting. And if we go a little bit up from that place, the little scar that is here just above my right eye, this is the most painful memory that my body holds, because this is related to the abuse that I experienced in my relationship, which was quite a long relationship. I was in that relationship pretty much all of my adult life, and in that relationship I experienced any kind of abuse that you can read about on any psychology book. So that little scar that is always there and looking at me from my mirror reflection is a reminder of this. I know it's healing, but it's still there, and yeah, it reminds me about the hardest period of my life, which was quite long. And getting out of that relationship, I consider is the biggest achievement in my life. And sometimes you even wonder how you made it through, and on many occasions even like how I'm physically still alive. I wasn't really told to change something about my body, but I was told to change something with the way I do with my body. And that was when I decided to start doing martial arts at the age of, I think I was 34 or 35, so I was an adult anyway. And before that, I never did any sport in my life. I was not good at sports when I was at school, or I was led to believe that I was not good at sports, because when I was not at school, I was an active child, climbing trees and running around and stuff like that. But at school, I really had hard time with my PE teacher, telling me that I'm not good at any kind of sport activities. So taking up Taekwondo at the advanced age was a big personal step for me. That's when I started to understand that my body is actually capable of many things that I thought I would never be able to do. So I was practicing Taekwondo, I'm still practicing it. I was competing at some stage as well. And what came from this practice was firm belief in myself, and that our bodies can achieve amazing things. It sounds simple, but it was a discovery for me, and this is still a journey. I earned my black belt in Taekwondo at the age of 43, and that was a great achievement. And funnily enough, when I was standing on the podium once receiving my gold in sparring, I was thinking that I wish my PE teacher, who was telling me that I cannot even run 10 meters, was here to see that I'm now an official champion of Ireland in my old age division, but still a champion. And of course, it had a lot of positive impact both on my body and mind. And I only suffered one injury from it, which is also in my body. I wouldn't even call it an injury, but something that reminds me about my journey. It's on my right foot there, so one of the two nails got broken during the practice, and it's always there, but to me I wouldn't change it because it's a reminder of what we can achieve with our bodies regardless of the age or what other people think about us, because at many occasions I was asked by my ex-partner to give up this activity because I'm just making a fool of myself by doing so, but I'm still doing it, and I'm a black belt now, and the journey continues. I think my biggest story of loss was a story of losing myself, really, and my true identity. That was influenced by many different things. Well, first of all, it was immigration, because I came to Ireland when I was 21, and I came here on my own without knowing anyone. But even prior to that, I moved from my parents' place to a much bigger city straight after I left school at the age of 16. So yeah, since then I was living on my own. But I felt confident enough to move to Ireland when I was still young. When I look at it now, I realize that that was young. But at that time, I thought that I'm all grown up and know what to do. But the reality was slightly different. My early years in Ireland were very hard, especially as I came from the country outside of European Union. I had a work permit, so I couldn't change an employer for a long time. I was working for the same place. It was not always good, but I couldn't change the employer. I was doing evening studies at the same time while working full-time, and that was the time when I also got in a relationship that didn't work out in the end, or should I say it worked out for the better for me eventually, but it wasn't a happy one. And I think because of all of those circumstances, I felt like I lost that version of myself that I knew and everybody knew before I came to Ireland. I felt that like I'm missing that young girl who is cheerful and full of life and joyful and likes to laugh with her friends, because then I felt like I suddenly grew up very, very quickly without having time to adjust to it naturally, because I had to provide for myself. I couldn't ask anyone for help. I didn't have my family around. I became a different person, and when I look at that version of myself now, I want to give her a hug because she struggled, definitely. And then my son was born, and a lot of new responsibilities, and no other members of family around. There was nobody to help. And when I think about it now, I think it's kind of a little bit underestimated in the modern society. What I mean is underestimated is the connection that you have to your family, connection that you have to your extended family, connection that you have to people. I kind of became a very closed person, only really doing my job and caring for my son. But I didn't connect to many people. I felt like I couldn't connect to many people. And at the same time, I think I felt the loss of myself. I was craving to get back that version of myself that I liked and I wanted to be. And while you're in the toxic place, you cannot really have it. But deep inside, you're feeling that you're betraying yourself, that you have lost yourself, and then you have to find yourself or get yourself back, and this is your purpose and your mission, apart from anything else that you do for other people. Because when you do too many things for other people, you can easily lose yourself. And sometimes it's even hard to accept that yourself is the most important person in your life, because we are taught to believe that, well, maybe not everyone, but that was my experience, that you're taught to believe that everybody else is much more important than yourself. So sometimes when I think about this period of my life, I feel like I lost too many years as well in that toxic relationship, and there is lots of guilt in me. And when people ask me, why did you not leave earlier, it's hard to explain to anyone who hasn't experienced it. Sometimes I even cannot explain it to myself, because that version of me, fortunately, no longer exists. And yeah, so the biggest loss was just losing myself. But then with this came the ability to rebuild yourself again and get yourself back, or even maybe not getting yourself back, but growing into a different version of myself.